this video we are going to learn about function syntax. Now in move you can see this is the basic syntax of functions. There is visibility, which means it can be public, private or friend function, and then fun, and then you write name of the function, and you can pass arguments as well as you can return the arguments, return some values, and inside the curly braces you write your code. So let's see various visibilities in move. Now there are three types of visibilities: private, public, and friends. Now let's see them with an example. Let's say we write simply a module. Now in this module we are going to write a function. Now see, I didn't write any visibility. I didn't write private, public, or public friend. So when you didn't write any explicitly write something, then it means it's a private function. Now let's name it as a who. We are not passing any argument, just we are going to simply return u8 and simply going to return 1. So this is a private function in this module A. Now let's create another module. Let's create module B. My address, let's deploy it on the same address. Then we are going to write B. Now in this module, let's write another function. Again, it will return some value. Let's return. Now we are going to give a call to this function. Okay, so this function is of this address and it's of this module. So we have to specifically write, okay, in this address I have deployed I have made a module. Let's say it's A, and in this A module there is a function that I want to call. So I will call this function. So now we are calling this a_foo function, which is this function, inside this private function of module B. So just in a minute we are going to see like what is the purpose of writing these two modules. Let's write a simple test case testing, and let's store this value of this function. Ooh, and let's print it. Print %a. That's it. Okay. So what will happen if I'm going to run this function? Now let's see the output. Now you can see that we are facing an error. The function is internal to this module. Only public and friend function can be called outside of the module. Now you see this is a private function, which means I can write any function here. If I'm going to write another function, let's say, and inside that function I can call this private function, no problem in that, but I cannot call this function outside this module. So this is you can see like for private function, by default the function moves are private. As I said, I didn't mention anything, like I didn't write private or public. It means it is private. So that means that they can only be called within the same modules. So I can call this private function inside other functions in this same module, and cannot be accessed outside the module by other modules and scripts. Scripts we will discuss later on in some other videos, but for now let's focus on modules. So basically it can only be called inside the same functions, inside the functions of the same module. We cannot call it outside another module. Okay, outside on some another module. So how to let's say if I want to call this a function in this module, so what will I'm going to do? So let's erase this. What I will do is I will just make this public. Now it's public. Now by definition, you can see it can be called by any function in any module. It can be called by any function of this itself, its own module, this module, or it can also be called by this module. So you can see, let's see like what is our answer now. Let's write Aptos move test to run the test case. Okay, we have to include, yeah, use standard debug. So there is a module deployed on standard address, and in that we are going to use this print function. Okay, let's see. You can see the output as 1. It means a public function can be called in another module also. So now let's see what a friend function is. Now a public friend function can be called by any function in the same module, same like any other visibility. It can be private or public. Both can be called inside their own same module. No problem in that. But by it can also be called by the function of the module which are explicitly defined in the friend list. Now, what does this mean? Now, public is that it is open to all. But let's say you want to make a function that you only want to share to your friends. So what you will do, you will make a simply a friend list. And in that friend list, you will add the modules that can call this public friend function. So let's see how this happens. So to make it a friend function, we are just simply going to write public and braces and friends. Simple syntax. So this is how you write a public friend function. So let's try to run it. I didn't create yet the friend list, but let's see what is the output. Again, the function can only be called from a friend of a module. Okay. So how to make the friend list? Now what I want to see, like this is A is my module, but B is my friend and I want it to access this function. Now how to do this? I'm going to make a friend list. So what I'm going to do is simply going to write friend, and this is the address and this is the name of the module. Let's say B is the name of the, in our case, it's B deployed on this address. So I'm going to make B as friend of A. So now let's see. Now this function, this public friend function is accessible to this B module. Now let's see that if we are facing any error or not. Now again, you can see we get an output of 1. So it means like this was my friend, B was my friend's friend. That why it can call this public friend function defined in this A module. Okay, so I have called this A function, which is a public friend function inside my module only because I have given the access of this function because I am in the friend list of this B module. So this was all about visibilities in functions. Thank you.